So today we have the Rider 20. Now currently the Rider 21 is out, but I don't have the new model. But I'm going to overview some of the key changes from the 20 to the 21 so you get a little bit of an update of what that is as well. So, you know, get the best of both worlds and all that jazz. So firstly, as I always do, we'll start with the upper. So on the Rider 20, the upper is a dual layer, so not kind of a booty construction, but dual layer mesh around the toes and around the toe box with this literal extra reinforcement from a thermoplastic and sewn through on the toe box there to protect the toes. In terms of general shape for this shoe as well, from the upper, narrow through the back of the heel. You can see it comes quite close up around the ankle bone, so it gives really quite a nice heel hold. So for those runners that I see that have kind of ankle instabilities or very mobile ankles, this is quite a nice shoe for that good hold and feel around the back of the heel. In terms of through the midfoot, fairly narrow, not super narrow. And then the key feature of the shoe is the width you get in the forefoot. So for those people with bunions, things like that, the mesh isn't kind of too aggressive. You haven't got extra overlays to kind of crush through the first met area where bunions are and things like that. So from that perspective, really nice. And for someone like myself who likes a wider fitting forefoot, really great in the upper from that. In relation to the 21, they've reduced the amount of overlays again. So within the actual upper, it's a lot thinner. Definitely a lot more breathable, but some people don't like how thin it is because they feel the feet kind of aren't as held and aren't as well looked after. Personally, I've tried the 21. I don't see too much of a difference yet. And if I'm honest with you, the rest of the shoe is exactly the same in the outsole as the 20. So the key upper change in the Rider 21 is the only thing that's really changed from this shoe. If we now switch on to the midsole, so in Mizuno shoes, they use their wave plate, which you can see on the Rider is only one wave plate that runs through there, so it's a neutral shoe, so I wouldn't expect too much stability. In shoes like their Inspire, their Paradox and Horizon, they have kind of 2, 3, sometimes even 4 wave plates to stiffen up that medial post, so obviously when you go over pronating it helps to control. In the Rider we've just got one. They use a foam called Euphoric X in the heel, so really nice and cushiony and squishy on initial contact if you're striking through the heel. Then as we come through the midfoot, just the Euphoric in terms of the actual density of the foam that they use. In relation to other brands, Mizuno is firmer. So I love a shoe that's slightly firmer, makes me feel more stable, more held, and you can get a little bit more responsiveness out of the shoes for kind of tempo runs and that kind of thing. One negative point I may put out there, just for some people who like a plush, soft feel the whole way for kind of those longer distances, it won't have that for the full length of a long distance. But for me personally, I prefer feeling more stable and held and don't always look out for cushioning as such. Yes, I'm still comfortable when I'm running longer distance in it, but it's not kind of, ooh, this is nice and cushy, la la la. And then look at the outsole. Nothing too dramatic in terms of comparison to other brands, really. You can see the last is slightly more curved through there. You've got the natural flex grooves to help with that toe off reaction. But as you can see, not too many flex grooves, so again, it adds to that stiffness upon kind of toeing off as such. Through the heel, again, nothing really too different. You can see the Euphoric X labels through the back of the heel, and then the X10 rubber, so just a little bit more reinforced through there. Overall, for me, I really enjoy running this shoe. As I say, if you're comparing it to shoes like your Pegasus, your Nimbus, your Brooks Ghost, it's firmer than all of them. So you just have to be aware that it's not your super soft plush shoe. That being said though, there is definitely a place in the market for more shoes like this. We need shoes that are more responsive, more stiff to help control that forefoot movement that a lot of people forget is actually very essential and relates a lot to injury. So for me, Rider 20 ticks all the boxes. The 21, not too different. So don't be too upset that there's a change or whatever. It's a minor change. And personally, so far, I have not seen a difference when fitting people between the 20 and the 21.